Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great weekend. And so a very interesting turn of events. Worldcoin has went up over 86%. Um, now, um, this is very interesting. And we're going to talk a little bit today about what caused that. What caused that with Worldcoin. Um, if you've been tuning in to the channel, you're probably aware of that. I had just recently, my last video, I think it was a few days ago, talked about the great possibility that WorldCoin uh, we could see a great increase based on some developments in WorldCoin, that they were going to be raising more money, right? They're going to raise another $50 million. Now, it's important to understand that since WorldCoin's inception, uh, over $500 million has went into WorldCoin, right? So we're talking big bucks here. We're not talking about a hopeful project. We're talking about a project headed up by or a big part of it, Sam Altman, the founder of ChatGPT. You're talking a lot of notoriety, a lot of popularity. We got to see just how popular he was when they tried to oust him as CEO of OpenAI. That everybody was going to leave with him, right? Um, and so they're greatly behind their general. What that means is that Sam Altman is pretty much the package deal. You know, he's going to take all the smartest people with him, all the great developers, and that makes him very formidable, right? That makes him very important in the space of this type of machine learning, these type of language models and such that have advanced our AI system so far. Uh, what I don't think people get is that uh, his popularity is can have a big impact on, especially a cryptocurrency. He fits all the elements of what crypto projects look for, right? Uh, Competent, notable founders, along with um, a good model for a use case and a roadmap. And WorldCoin seemingly has all those things, right? So it's addressing some very important issues, and I think this we're going to see phenomenal prices with WorldCoin. You might see it might be crazy the type of prices you see with WorldCoin. It wouldn't surprise me if WorldCoin could become thousands of dollars, even tens of thousands of dollars, right? Just based on what it's doing. Now, we want to put a full disclaimer in, and it goes something like this: that we want to clarify in our research of WorldCoin, tell the entire story, and not just the parts of the story that many of us in cryptocurrency tend to want to tell. What we have to understand is that as many of us who don't like WorldCoin, it's always going to be a lot of people, tens of millions of people, maybe even billions of people using WorldCoin. But in understanding the cutting edge technology of using this thing they call the orb, where they're able to take pictures of your iris, uh, identify those patterns to a unique user, not give up your privacy. The actual data is allegedly destroyed once it has established you're a unique person. Now, some people go on to extrapolate from that and say, oh, no, but somebody could still hack in somehow, some way, and the data could be stored as such, right? And that is the carnival of terribles, right? And we try not to get into that too deep into this channel. The information we do have on hand, the accurate information as far as we could ascertain, is that once the iris scan is linked to your wallet, identifies you as a unique user, that data as to who you actually are, even the pictures of your irises as such, are destroyed, so they can't be reused, right? That is the narrative. Now, for some reason, we keep getting the narrative in the space from big crypto influencers who apparently have an agenda on this. And I'm not attacking them. I'm just my goal is to just put it out as it is. But they seem to fit to this narrative, and it's not due to a lack of research, I don't think, at this point. Because I've actually heard some of them say this, but then go on to still say the things about Worldcoin that they know aren't fundamentally true. And what I mean by that is that you're giving up your data and your irises, right? People are going to be able to take that data, do something with it, know who you are as such, right? And that's kind of creating that fear component, right? My goal isn't to tell you to go get an iris scan to get the 25 world coins. That's not my goal. Although I think it could end up being significant value wise, that is not my goal. There are many other ways you can participate in Worldcoin should you wish to. My goal is just to put the accurate information out there as much as possible, right? And that is that it did go up 86%, and that the reason that the technology is so important, what you have to understand is that, and I'll just give you a real world example. I will give you the real world example of in the United States. You're probably aware of that. There's a lot of fear around our democratic process, our election processes, right? To the point that other nation states can put in or can greatly influence elections, hack them, uh, use bots to put out certain types of information, leak files, etc., to try to get the candidate they want in. Now, think about the candidate that they want in. Is the candidate that they're going to want in, is he going to be to their best interest or the nation state's best interest? Shouldn't take you long to figure that out, but just think about it for a minute. So that means whoever they want to put in is probably not in the best interest of the people of the nation. Now, when you're voting, right, when you're dealing with something like election fraud as such within the vote system, the thing that you're going to want to mainly correct to preserve your democracy is going to be ways to vote tamper proof, right? Ways to vote where your votes can't be, elections can't be stolen, where your votes can't be duplicated, stolen, etc. And one big way we're thinking about doing it is with some type of technology that identifies you as a unique user. So when you vote, it's only that unique person voting. It's not a person voting over and over again with somebody else's identification, such, etc. Right? So that alone should just give you one idea of how important this technology can be. Putting that aside, someone like Sam Altman, who's trying to be responsible. And what I mean by responsible, I'm speaking specifically in the way of his advancements in technology like ChatGPT. What happens if this technology becomes so fantastic that it replaces humans, makes them obsolete, right? And we already know that many secretary-like jobs, appoint call center, appoint making jobs, etc. ChatGPT can do that. Many of our AI technologies can do that now on a level that humans don't have to do it. So that's just one sector can already be totally wiped out on people who are dependent on those type of jobs, trained within that area to do those type of jobs. Now you can attempt to retrain them, but we don't know how difficult or even how possible that process will be and if it will leave any jobs. We only have theory, and these are theories and ideas we cannot afford to be wrong on. It's not the same as saying, well, we can just wait until it happens and it'll work itself out. We don't really know that. And we're playing with people's lives and jobs as we're building technologies that make humans obsolete, right? These are facts. So if you got something like Worldcoin, Worldcoin is not only just solving the identification issue on the blockchain, whether you want to start establishing loans and credit on blockchains, right, without somebody being able to, you becoming a victim of identity theft and cyber attacks and such. Uh, Besides that, WorldCoin also offers the universal basic income, which means that many of these people, especially depending on what country or land you're on, you might actually in the future be able to live off something like this. And this is the uh, the argument I've been making about Btcmyk, the project we spearheaded. Um, that is universal basic income based as well, right? As many of you all know who watch the channel, who sticking with me on the content. And I think you all can appreciate how important this is. This might be, when I say the importance of this topic, guys, we're talking on, it's more important than anything you could imagine. You're talking on levels of climate change. You're talking on levels of nuclear proliferation. You're talking on levels of the apocalypse, right? Uh, you're talking job displacement, right? Uh, AI taking over. However you want to term it and categorize it, these type of projects are somewhat dealing with them, somewhat actually addressing what could be potentially huge problems. And there aren't hardly any projects that are doing that effectively as WorldCoin, and I believe Btcmyk. The others have kind. I don't think besides the surface level of this, I don't think they've really went deep into this and engaged in this, right? Now, the way WorldCoin's doing it is doing it by proof of identification, using this technology, using this orb, right? Getting all these users in, is creating value to the network, and it's creating this currency that can go on and be a solution to our technology woes, to our social ills, etc. Right? Our political problems, and it just goes on and on. As you can see, it covers so many issues, so many problems. That's why it's so important. But what's so impressive as well about WorldCoin is it's done something in the universal basic income cryptocurrencies that many of us didn't think was possible. And it's been able to hold its support levels pretty significantly, right? Staying around $2, $2.50. Uh, Starting off around, I think, about $5 and going back recently to around those levels, right? So that is very, very impressive. But we know the people behind this, and we know it's holding a war chest of funds, and so that makes it a very good candidate for success, and maybe the first most successful universal basic income project. But this also serves as a lesson to us, especially naysayers who thought when I created Bitcoin and YKR project, Universal Basic Income, that is doing well this week as well. It's been up as high as 90% in it. It's doing very, very well. Liquidity still significantly low, but it still is starting to get its footing in a good way. And we're going to take a look at it real quick and talk about it before we get off the video.